Do we have anti-gravity capabilities and anti-gravity craft in our militaries? Well, that's what we're going to be looking into today, as someone over on Reddit has found in the, if you remember the whole Arrow Pentagon report that came out a couple of weeks ago, very controversial because it was like, we have no proof of aliens, no proof of You know, everyone's talked about it for long enough, but someone really kind of sat through and read the 64-page document with a fine-tooth comb, and they found that Arrow might have accidentally admitted publicly that the US has a full anti-gravity craft that can silently travel 4,000 miles per hour without a sonic boom and without any air disturbance. That's what we're going to be diving into, because if this is true, this is almost confirmation of something that the government has said that they haven't got capabilities of, and it begs the question of, if we have got this technology and this kind of capability, how did they learn about it? What did they use to make this kind of technology? And was it reverse engineered from something greater than ourselves? Well, let's take a little look, shall we? So the Reddit post goes on to state, on page 29 of the Arrow report, they state, quote, an interviewee who is a former US service member said that in 2009, while participating in a humanitarian and security mission in a foreign country, he encountered US Special Forces loading containers onto a large extraterrestrial spacecraft. This, of course, is referring to the US Marine Michael Herrera's account of the incident during humanitarian and security mission in 2009 in Indonesia. And while Herrera doesn't appear to have ever described the UAP as an, quote, extraterrestrial spacecraft, here is how he described the craft's appearance and how it defied gravity, and then how it sped off with no noise or air disturbance, per Michael Herrera. And this is where we go on to state some juicy stuff. The craft was massive, the size of a football field. It was an octagonal shape, rotating in a clockwise motion while changing colours. It had this platform that was on the ground, and it was separate from the craft, hovering. It rose off the ground a little past the trees, then shot off to our left, towards the ocean at around 4,000 miles per hour, from a dead stop. It didn't make any sound like a sonic boom. It didn't disturb the trees like a rotor wash would. We could see coconuts and trees, and none of them were disturbed. Very interesting stuff. Now, to kind of clock something at 4,000 miles per hour, that's quite difficult. Like that truly, like, from the naked eye, I can barely make out a car that's the difference between 30 and 50 mile an hour. I mean, there's quite a difference, but to clock something in at 4,000 miles an hour, that's oddly specific. So that's kind of my only, like, red flag with this. And here is how Arrow report on page 32 appears to explain what Herrera saw. Arrow was able to correlate this account with an authentic USG program because the interviewee was able to provide a relatively precise time and location of the sighting, which they observed, exhibiting strange characteristics. At the time, the interviewee said he was observed the event. DoD was conducting tests of a platform protected by an SAP, Special Access Program. The seemingly strange characteristics reported by the interviewee matched closely with the platform's characteristics, which was being tested at a military facility in the time frame the interviewee was there. The program is not related in any way to off-world technology. So I feel like that's kind of the Arrow kind of, brushing over the breadcrumbs, so to speak. But it begs the question about, what is this? How did we get this kind of capability? And where does it come from? So let's fast forward, or kind of, look into other sources. So I kind of got my brain racking. And when I kind of put this, anti-gravity craft into Google, the only thing that came up was a military craft that goes by the name TR-3B, Black Manta. Does the US Air Force have an anti-gravity spy plane? This came out on the 21st of March 2024. So, in short, the TR-3B, Black Manta's existence as a US Air Force anti-gravity spy plane remains unverified, with claims of advanced propulsion and anti-gravity technology, largely considered speculative or conspiracy theory. So the Black Manta is often described as an anti-gravity spy plane, surrounded by a mix of confirmed details and speculative theories. Here we dissect available information to separate fact from fiction, anti-gravity technology and scientific research, anti-gravity legitimacy, antimatter at CERN and Fermilab is investigated for anti-gravity properties, challenging traditional physics, indicating a scientific basis for anti-gravity research. US Navy's UFO patents include room temperature subconductors and interior mass reduction device, suggested an advanced propulsion technology that could theoretically enable anti-gravity capabilities. So, basically skimming through, there's a lot of research kind of done about the different places that have looked into anti-gravity, legitimacy and who's experimenting with it and stuff, and whether the black manta is really a thing. So, in short, it's unconfirmed, but everybody kind of knows that it exists. Like, it's a typical US government or world government, not just US, but, typical world government thing where it's like, we know it exists, the government claim that it doesn't, or haven't confirmed that or denied that it does or doesn't. So we're just kind of like, well, we know, and then we're kind of left to speculate about what it's capable of. But looking at the specifics of the aircraft, I found it oddly was relating to this kind of the speeds. So I did see somewhere in this article that it can pull Mach 9 speeds. So there it is. So nuclear propulsion and speed. Descriptions include a plasma-based nuclear engine achieving Mach 9 speeds, an 89% reduction in gravity, pointing to unprecedented propulsion technology. Now, Mach 9 speeds, when you put that into almost like a calculator or a converter, Mach 9 speeds, miles per hour, is around 6,905 miles per hour, okay? And when we go back to the original claim made by Herrera, he said that this craft traveled off at around 4,000 miles per hour. Now, go back to my original point about how that's, oddly difficult to kind of be quite specific about. What if Herrera got that wrong? He said it looked like it went off in around 4,000 miles an hour. If this thing just shoots off, what's the difference to the naked eye of 4,000 and almost 7,000 miles per hour? Okay, so, there's a bit of correlation there. The links are kind of linking a little bit. And then when it comes to the shape and the look of it, obviously no one's officially seen one, but everyone kind of points towards these triangular shaped craft. But I have found some TikToks that kind of talk about witnesses or supposed witnesses to this TR3B technology. And we're going to take a little listen to those right now because it kind of sheds a little bit more light on the whole situation. Let's take a look.
TR3BX.
Back.
Just gonna mute it for copyright reasons because you know how YouTube be sometimes. Right. So just pausing it there. Looking at it, obviously, it's this triangular shape that kind of spins clockwise, which, again, correlates with Herrera's story, how he claimed this. He said it was an octagonal shape, kind of swirling in this, or spinning, if you will, in this clockwise shape. I don't know the legitimacy of this video. I can't verify it. I tried to kind of find a little bit more about it. I couldn't find much, but it doesn't, it looks like it's military personnel who have recorded it. They're clearly reacting to something. Whatever that something is, I don't know, but I don't see why this would be fake. But obviously I can't say for certain that it is 100% real. Let's watch on. So as you can obviously see that like looking at it from like this kind of point of view, it's got, the sun is clearly shining on this side, it's clearly darker on this side, it's lighter over on this side, and then it kind of fades into the darkness. It's a hard one because you know, it's a difficult one to say whether it's true or not. I can't, you know, find any huge flaws in it that kind of like say otherwise, but just looking at it, you know, this might be genuine footage of what people claim to be this anti-gravity aircraft. Right, so at this point in the video, obviously just kind of goes on to take a little look at the differences, but this part here is where it gets interesting as well. Let's just fast forward here. So, obviously it's got this flat kind of shape to it. So you've got crew compartment, second generation, whatever that is, propulsion, I'm assuming. You know, you've got all of this, basically all the stuff that makes it tick.
An F-18 is approaching the deck of the carrier USS Ford. It looks like a pinpoint precise landing. But then,
as it goes to touchdown, we actually see a triangular-shaped UFO, like something that would be right out of an alien movie.
the object definitely doesn't look like any known military aircraft.
Historically, UFOs have been certain types of shapes. We've got cigar UFOs, saucer UFOs, and triangle UFOs. So the fact that there was a triangle UFO on this aircraft carrier, that really sent the UFO community into a frenzy.
Obviously, you know, as you can see, it's the exact same craft that was seen from that. But moving forwards, this is supposed footage of the craft being seen in Area 51, Hangar 19. So obviously, you know, Area 51, conspiracy runs wild about what goes on in Area 51. No one actually knows. But, you know, the main consensus now, or the real idea now, is that we've kind of moved away from aliens and it's kind of leaning towards military technology that the government don't really want us to know about, or the rest of the world to know about. So that's why it's so hush-hush. But if you take a little look at this, we can see this, well, very similar craft. It's not the clearest image, I will warn you, but, you know, something similar in that area. Again, I'm going to mute it for copyright, but you can see here this very triangular-shaped UFO, if you will, in the hangar of Area 51. So, on to the next question, which is, where did we get this technology from? You know, it's not impossible with, you know, the growth of AI over the past, like, couple of years especially, and, you know, people constantly working away in the background to kind of make military craft better and better and better and all the rest of it, that this is just, you know, this is just something that's being developed by scientists. But a lot of people are leaning into the speculation that we, through these crash retrieval programs and legacy programs that have been confirmed, by the way, have been confirmed by multiple sources, but the government says they never happened. Could it be through these crash retrieval programs and through reverse engineering that the US have found this technology? Not just the US, it could be multiple countries, but we're obviously, you know, all the alien stuff comes out of the US for some reason. I don't know why, but it's just what it is. But is it because of crash retrieval programs and reverse engineering that we've got this technology? And if so, what else could we see potentially in the coming years through reverse engineering and stuff like this? It begs big questions, very big questions. And I want to hear what you guys have got to say on those big questions. Do you think that the TR-3B is a true craft? Is it real? Is it legit? Do we actually have anti-gravity technology and capabilities? Was Herrera correct in his witnessing of this, in what he claimed within this Arrow report? You know, has Arrow correctly covered this up, or, you know, not even covered this up, kind of like dismissed it? Or have they tried to cover it up? So many questions for you guys to answer. Get down in the comments. I want to hear what you've got to say, because you shed a lot of light on stuff like this. But do you think that this is true? Do you think that this is a load of rubbish? Let me know. While you're down there, be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button if you have not already. Subscribe if you're new and tick on my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload. And until next time, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed. Cannot wait to see you in the next one. I'll speak to you later. Peace.